The United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend of his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
A lot of us can't handle the truth. Anyway, welcome everybody. It's Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all over the place. And WBOK 1230 AM in New Orleans. It's what New Orleans is talking about, WBOK 1230 AM in New Orleans. Anyway, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. It's June the 11th already. Wow. I mean, I still remember what I did in New Year's Eve. It's June 11th, 2026. And man, time is just flying by, trying to finish up my real estate course I'm working on. And, it's funny, when you talk about school, you got to go to college and all this stuff to learn things. They say in the future, right? In the future, in 21, 26, there'll be no more colleges. The iPhone will be like, you remember the old phone? The one that used to put the thing to your ear and the mouthpiece in your hand? That's what the iPhone is going to look like 100 years from now. It's going to be so obsolete. And they say that you won't have to go to college in the future. They will they'll be able to load the information into your brain. Yeah. They'll be able to load it. So you want to be a doctor, you just get the doctor program and you load it into your brain. And presto chango, you're a doctor or a lawyer or whatever it is you want to learn. Real estate, for example, they'll be able to program the information into your brain. So if you want to be a doctor 100 years from now, we're all dead in dust. All you got to do is get the program loaded up into your brain. Unbelievable. Anyway, everybody, it's about 2 minutes past the hour. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. All over the place, blogtalkradio.com, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, LA Talk Radio, just everywhere. And Spotify pretty soon. So anyway, let me see if I can make it through this broadcast without any issues. Am I being sabotaged? Somebody messaged me, is my show being sabotaged? I don't know. I don't know if the show's being sabotaged. I really don't know. At about 4 minutes past the hour. Lots of noise out there, dumbass Knicks. The Knicks win again last night. That coach they're gonna wait until after. I was the owner, and not to be emotional or anything like that, because as an owner of a large organization like that, you can't be emotional and be firing people left and right. But that coach for the San Antonio Spurs would be fired. I'd be checking out the want ads, looking to see who's out there right now, because that was unbelievable. And he did nothing to stem the tide. The Knicks wave, the orange and blue wave, that tsunami. This is not a sports show. I don't talk about sports. But yeah, he did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. They had a 29-point lead. There's no way the Knicks should have won that game. So that coach would be looking for a job. I mean, after the series is over, because 3-1. It's highly unlikely that the Spurs are going to come back. So he'd be looking for a job. He'd be done, because I would be finished with him, because that was unbelievable. It's the largest comeback in NBA history. I mean, you want to be a history maker, but you don't want to be on that side of history. Oh yeah, I was the coach of the team that lost the biggest lead in the finals. I was that coach. I mean, you don't want to be known for nothing stupid like that, or nothing bad. not flattering, so on and so forth. So yeah, so it's he should be fired. He should be fired because he didn't coach the team. Because that's what the coach is for. He's not just supposed to just walk up and down the sidelines. You got to coach the team up. So when you see things happening, coach them up. You saw, who was getting all the looks, Brunson, and, Anunoby. You got to do something about that. Even if you got to pull a guy off the bench just to play defense, not even to score, you got to pull out all the stops. This is finals. This is the Super Bowl of the NBA. And you got to pull out all the stops. And I was very, disappointed with the Spurs yesterday. I'm sure every person in Texas, every Texan and people all around the country who root for the Spurs. And the Spurs is not my team. I really don't have a basketball team. But wow, just unbelievable. Just wow. Anyway, it's 6 minutes past the hour. So lots of going on with lots going on with Karmelo Anthony. Not that Karmelo Anthony. Not the Karmelo Anthony is worth $160 million. The money that he made over his years playing basketball. Not that Karmelo Anthony who played for the Knicks, I think, at one time. Not him. That's Karmelo with a C. C-A-R. This Karmelo is K-A-R. And this Karmelo Anthony is the young man who was tried by a all-white jury, by the way. People are making a lot of noise about that. All-white jury, and he was convicted, and he's going to serve 35 years. Now, the good news is he'll only be in his early 50s when he gets out. Very early 50s, around 52 or so. But the bad news is that there was an all-white jury. Now the jury, so you see, I have a problem with it too. He's not, and Karmelo Anthony's not innocent. He copped to it. He said he did it, so he's not innocent. So the question here is, with the all-white jury, should there be a retrial? People out there are pushing for folks all over the country. They've collected a lot of money. Black folks are finally coming together. And they have collected, let me see. Karmelo Anthony collections. Let me see. People are black folks are trying to collect money. Oh, not that Karmelo Anthony. The Karmelo Anthony folks are saving, they're putting up money for Karmelo Anthony. This Karmelo Anthony, Karmelo Anthony GoFundMe is already up to $630,000. So black folks are finally coming together. Okay. All right. Okay. Here's what happened, everybody. I got to stay up on this stuff too. TMZ is saying that Karmelo Anthony's crowdfunding page was canceled. This is what they're saying. Karmelo Anthony, the young man, 17-year-old, who was convicted of murdering Austin Metcalf. They're saying that young white boy. They're saying that his crowdfunding has been canceled the day after he was convicted of murder. Now, a rep for the company they allowed it to go through. The goal was $1.3 million, $629,000 was raised, and the people Give Send Go, or the people where the page was created, they're saying that they allowed the page to go forward because he's innocent until proven guilty. It's what they said after he was convicted, things changed. So the funds which were $633,000 as of yesterday, were intended for legal defense and family relocation, so it says. And they have been giving the funds away. So, yeah. So they won't. He can't have that paid. Now, does he have a GoFundMe? I'm not sure. So if he appeals, I guess that he can set up another page if there's an appeal, because we know where the money's going to go. But yeah, unbelievable, right? He's all white jury, no black folks on the jury, and it's supposed to be a jury of your peers. Now, does jury of your peers mean other human beings, or does it mean people who came from where you came from? Is the question, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know. Anyway, everybody, it's just about 11 minutes past the hour. Yeah. So, let me talk about this. See, now, that's the big thing that's going on right now. That people are saying that Karmelo Anthony didn't get a fair trial because there were white people, only white people on the jury. It's an all-white jury. And like I said last week, I thought we were beyond that all-white jury stuff. I thought that was over, the all-white jury. But I guess not. So now so it's not so much that he's innocent, because we know he's not innocent. We know that he did it. Did the circumstances warrant him to react the way he did by killing the boy? I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. But that's the question now. Should he have gotten a lesser charge? See, that's what the whole deal is right now. Should he have gotten a lesser charge? Should he have been charged with, maybe with manslaughter instead of murder? 8.5 to 25 for manslaughter. Would it have been a lesser charge had he had some of his own people on their jury? So when they talk about the jury of their peers, are they talking about the jury of other human beings? Because peers are people who you're around, people who can understand where you came from, where you're coming from. Jury of your peers. The meaning of jury of your peers is who are your peers? The peers are the people who are the same age as you, who have the same status as you. That's the definition of peers. Your peers are the people who are the same age as you, or who have the same status as you. So none of them were 17, I'm pretty sure. And and I'm not suggesting that he should have had a jury of 17-year-olds. But there's a couple of different definitions for peer. And I don't mean like looking at something. Yeah, your peers are the people who are the same age as you, or who have the same status as you. Now these, we know these white folks didn't have the same status as this young black boy. So yeah. So I'm not, it's ridiculous. Now, 14 minutes past the hour. Now, I have to agree. Now, he did do it. So he should suffer some consequences because he did do it. Now, having an all-white jury, is that reason enough for a retrial? I don't know. I don't know if having an all-white jury is reason enough for a retrial. But I think that he would have probably gotten a lesser sentence if there was some black folks on that jury. Because, I thought we were past that. That was something that they did in the 40s and 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, where they had all white juries convicting black people of major crimes. Yeah, I thought that was, just about pretty much over with. So how did that happen? How did an all-white jury get seated for Karmelo Anthony's trial? How did that happen? How did an all-white jury get seated for Karmelo Anthony's trial? Yeah. How did that happen? How did that happen? Now, what they're saying, I may come to it after the break, but 12 jurors and 6 alternates were chosen for Karmelo Anthony's trial. Now, it started out with 589 people. It was narrowed down after a day of vetting, where they asked questions of the jury by the prosecutors and defense attorneys. And one question that some jurors refused to answer, prospective jurors, possible jurors, they refused to answer. Now, the prosecution argued that they thought, right? The prosecution thought that the circumstances surrounding the crime were race neutral. How the hell could you think this is going to be race? This is the prosecution. Yeah. So, yeah. Wow. So that's the big deal now. Folks across country, black folks in particular, are going crazy about this Karmelo Anthony situation. And, with good reason. With good reason. Because they shouldn't have been an all-white jury. There shouldn't have been an all-white jury. And not to be for jury nullification for any type of acquittal, but there shouldn't have been an all-white jury. In this case, there shouldn't have been an all-white jury. So it's ongoing. We'll see. There's a lot of, I'm surprised that I thought it was going to be another slam dunk. The people was going to just. I thought it was to be another slam dunk. The people were just going to say, "Oh well," But yeah. Just black folks coming together. People are coming from all over the country. So I'm understanding, and a lot of money was raised for him because it's just not right that you have it's just not right. Anyway, it's just about 20 minutes past the hour, so we'll take a break and we'll come back with more of the program. It's Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
everybody, for 46 years, American Porterfield Transportation has been your source for reliable transportation to and from school trips, family reunions, school districts, kid transportation, private kid transportation, anything that you need. You want to put together a trip, you want to go down to, you want to put together a trip, you want to go down Atlantic City, old folks, well, citizens, I should say. Sorry, people. So go to, you can get with American Porterfield Transportation. They will handle their business. It's 908-753-6423, 908-753-6423. Once again, 908-753-6423. You can email them if you ain't got no phone at amica.porterfield at verizon.net. That's amica.porterfield@verizon.net. And I need to tell you about Tasha's Caribbean and Soul Restaurant, located on Dodge Street in East Orange, New Jersey. Tasha's Caribbean and Soul Restaurant. Man, you just go there and you don't want to leave. And if you order your online, and this is for the people who live in New Jersey, Tasha's Caribbean and Soul Restaurant, located on Dodge Street in East Orange, New Jersey. Great food, great situation there. I don't know if you can't eat inside because it's mainly a takeout place. I think there's a couple tables. But Tasha's Caribbean, I ate there and I'll tell you the food was delicious. You can order online at Tasha's CaribbeanSoul.com/order. That's Tasha's CaribbeanSoul.com/order. And when you do that, and you use the coupon code POSTC22, that's POSTC22, you'll get $5 off your restaurant. So if you want something really good to eat, go to Tasha's Caribbean and Soul Restaurant, Dodge Street in East Orange, New Jersey. You can order online, Tasha's CaribbeanSoul.com/order. That's Tasha's CaribbeanSoul.com/order. And when you do, and you use the coupon code POSTC22, that's POSTC22, you receive $5 off your order. So hit them up. Food is great. Atmosphere, nice clean place. You can look behind the counter and see what they're doing. It is all of that. Tasha's Caribbean and Soul Restaurant, Dodge Street, East Orange, New Jersey. Tasha's CaribbeanSoul.com/order. That's Tasha's CaribbeanSoul.com/order if you want to put your order in. And it'll be ready, hot, piping hot when you get there at 23 minutes past the hour. Okay. So there was a bush. There was not a burning bush, but it was a burning cross found in Chicago today. Yeah, a burning cross, a cross burning in Chicago. Now this is a big ass cross. How come nobody saw this happening? Because if you look go online, and this was a big. This thing is like 7 feet tall. This cross, So why didn't anybody see it? Now the cross was burning near in a park. It wasn't near any particular like a NAACP office or National Action Network, Urban League, blah blah blah. It was in a park. They just set it up in the park, set it on fire, and left a cross. This is in Chicago. Now, I'm like, what? Why didn't anybody see this? Just somebody carrying a big cross, even if it's not on fire, it would be enough to get your attention. You see somebody carrying a big cross. This cross is about 7 feet tall. From the looks of it on the picture. So somebody was able to carry this cross to that tree, douse it with fluid, set it on fire, and leave, and nobody saw them. It's unbelievable. This was near Columbus and Dalbo in Chicago. Chicago's Grant Park. Now, I don't know if that's a place where black folks hang out or whatever, but that's where the cross was found. And I don't know. I mean, I'm questioning. Well, there is a person of interest. They have a picture of a uh, person of interest. It was the 9th, which was Tuesday, I believe. Now, there is a person of interest. This individual was observed leaving the scene where the cross was constructed and lit on fire in the 600 Park of South Columbus Avenue in Chicago, of all places. So what does this mean? What does this mean? It's really a symbol of hate. You know, is it really a symbol of hate? Is it a plant? Is it a hoax to sound like Trump? Because black folks are doing enough to each other. Klan, they don't need to burn no more. They don't need to burn any more crosses. Because black folks are doing themselves in. So I guess they got restless. They said, we got to do something. The black folks are doing such a good job of exterminating each other that we've been sitting back for years. I mean, we got to do something. We got to make ourselves known. We got to make sure people don't forget about us. Because black folks are doing so much to each other. The Klan has been out of business for years. Because they probably looked and said, well, they're doing a hell of a job. Let's just leave them alone. Let's just leave them alone. And, so I'm like, does it mean that there's going to be some type of race issues? Does it mean there's going to be a race war, so to speak? Because we talked about race wars for years. We talked about race wars for years. That's what everybody was predicting, that there would be a race war where white folks and black folks will get together. See, white folks got a lot of weapons. We probably would lose that, and there's more of them than us. It'd be reminiscent of that movie where they suspended the laws and allowed people just to kill each other. I forget the name of the movie. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They suspended the law for a day, 24 hours, whatever, and allowed people to go kill each other. Whatever your issue is with a person, race, they did something to you, your boss fired you, whatever, you had the 24-hour period to do whatever you wanted without and not be prosecuted for what you did. So I remember that movie. And so people, because there's been a lot of movies about race wars, and people just, ultimately think that ultimately black folks and white folks are just something's gonna spark us off, and it's gonna be like every man for himself. White folks think they go up in the projects like they did in the movie, going up in the projects, killing black folks, which is probably what they want to do. Some of them. But so now you look at this thing with the burning cross. I mean, the jury is still out as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's something that we need to be worried about. I don't know. I don't know if it's something we need to be worried about, because it's just out of nowhere somebody puts up a burning bush, like a burning cross, out of nowhere. Somebody burns a cross. It just sounds weird. It just sounds weird. So, I don't know. Just seems kind of strange that somebody would, because nothing happened to preclude, nothing happened to precede this. I mean, there hasn't been any, you know, there hasn't been any. There hasn't been any, um, you know, any interactions between black and white folks that would, that would cause somebody to want to try to do this. You know, I mean, I see maybe a white person got killed by a black person, and then they be throwing little hints at each other, yada yada yada. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. Anyway, the Ron Kelly Show is on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and watch the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program on YouTube. Full show. Uh, Facebook, I'm not sure what's going on with that. And like I said, somebody wanted to know if they thought Facebook was blacklisting me or whatever. I really don't know. I really don't know. I guess anything is possible, but I don't know. So I really don't know burning situation. I don't know what to make of it. Yes, I don't know what to make of this cross burning situation. You can just. I'm looking on Facebook and I looked on LinkedIn, and the sound is off for some reason. I don't know why, but you can just click the. If you can't hear me, just click the speaker button. That's all. Just click the speaker. The the little speaker with the little X next to it. Just do that. Anyway, it's 28 minutes for the hour. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program heard all across the country on the WBOK 12:30 a.m. It's what New Orleans is talking about, along with Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, LA Talk Radio. You name it, the Ron Kelly Show is there, and all coming to Spotify very shortly. It's just about 27 minutes before the hour. The lousy Knicks, man, I hate the Knicks. Anyway, see, we're quick to forgive these racist racist team owners. The Giants never had a black head coach, never had a black starting, never drafted a black starting quarterback. The Dallas Cowboys, same thing. Well, Dak is kind of black, I guess. Jim Dolan invited, known racists who own these teams that we root for. And the only reason a lot of them even have an association with a black person is because they need black people. So nobody would watch football if there weren't any black people on those teams. It wouldn't be worth watching with the athleticism and stuff. And I remember Howard Cosell from back in the day. Y'all remember Howard Cosell? Howard Cosell was Howard Cosell before John Madden, before Pat Summerall, before Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, before, the people that are on TV now. The issues with him, Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali were classic. The mounting back and forth, and they were friends in real life. They were friends, but Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali would always go at it. And this is when Muhammad Ali was in his prime, and they would always go at it. And one of the sportscasters from CBS called one of the players Little Monkey, and I don't think that he meant it. But I remember that clearly. He called, look at that little monkey go. Oh, that was Howard Cosell. Yeah. That was Howard Cosell. Monday Night Football, 1973. 53 years ago. The last time the Knicks won a championship, actually. And Howard Cosell was talking about a 97-yard kickoff return by Herb Mulkey, Washington Redskins at the time. They were known as Redskins. And Howard Cosell called him a little monkey, and he was fired. Right after he said it. That little monkey gets loose, doesn't he? And he was fired. Because and Howard Cosell, if he was a racist, he had me fooled. Howard Cosell. But yeah, after he said, look at that little monkey gets loose, doesn't he? Fired. Right after that. Alvin Garrett called him a little monkey. It was and incidentally, it was between the Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. So yeah, he said, look, that little monkey gets loose, doesn't he? And and Howard Cosell was terminated right after that. Snatched off the air right after that. Right after he said that. They didn't waste any time. And yeah. And black folks went crazy. And Howard Cosell says he wasn't trying to call him boy monkey. He was, talking about his agility, small size and agility. Now, Howard Cosell, when John Carlos and Tommy Smith, the famous Black Power glove clenched fists in the Olympics back in the day in the 60s, Howard Cosell supported them. He supported John Carlos and Tommy Smith, because one was number one, number two in the Olympics, and they raised the fist, Black Power symbol, salute in the Olympics during that year, and back in the 60s. And Alvin Garrett himself said that he didn't find it, he was insulted by what happened. Yeah, so that was the downfall of Howard Cosell. You don't get fired for saying racist stuff now. Back then you did, but not now. You can say stuff. Trump, thanks to Trump. You can say stuff. Yeah, Howard Cosell. I don't think that, because we jump to it every time somebody says a little something, but I'm a nigga. That's all you hear us call each other. Just don't nobody else call us that. I don't like being called nigga. Who you talking to? I don't like to be called nigga. What? Anyway, it's 38 minutes before the hour. So yeah. So there a burning cross found in Chicago. What can the Klan do to us that we haven't done to ourselves? What can the Klan do to us that we haven't done to ourselves? Nothing. Robbing each other, killing each other, all the stuff we do, victimizing each other, selling drugs to each other. The Klan can't do anything that we haven't done to ourselves already. So this whole burning cross thing, to me, I'm like, okay. Because why would the Klan come back when black folks are doing such a great job of killing and disrespecting and desecrating each other? Why would the Klan come? Klan, they don't need to do anything. They can just sit back and get a bucket of popcorn and watch the movie of black folks and what we do to each other. So this burning cross in Chicago, and I know people are going to be all up in arms and you know, but I just kind of saying, so what? You know, there was a burning cross found in the park in Chicago. And I'm just kind of like, so what? I mean, you know, because there hasn't been a serious clash between black and white folks. And that's when time you usually see that stuff, is when black folks and white folks have had some kind of incident or disagreement. Then you see this stuff start popping up. You know. Anyway, we take a break. It's about 20 minutes before the hour. We take a break and come back with more. It's Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, The Ron Kelly Show. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
All right, everybody, back to the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. And it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. This computer takes forever to load up stuff. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, 18 minutes before the hour. So Karmelo Anthony, Karmelo with a K, Anthony, convicted of stabbing the white boy. And let me see. Yeah, convicted of stabbing a white kid. Admitted it. Admitted it. That he did it. But the problem is that there was an all-white jury. Now, okay, if he did in fact do it, then there needs to be some kind of punishment. Maybe not.
The Ron Kelly Show.
Yeah, maybe not the way it shouldn't have been. He got 35-year sentence. Now he's only 17 or so, 19, I think. So he'll be around 50 something when he gets out. If he's serves the full 35 years. So I think most black folks understand that he did it, but they're just trying to. Black folks are trying. They don't understand why there was an all-white jury, because it's supposed to be a jury of your peers. You see, white folks are, Barack Obama being president and all the stuff that's happened since, everybody was thinking that we'd overcame. No, we ain't overcome. We didn't overcome. We're never going to overcome, because the United States of America wasn't made for us. And still to this day, 250 years, they're celebrating the birth of America, the anniversary, 250th anniversary of the existence of the United States of America. And even today, 250 years later, we're still not part of the system. We're like roaches, like an annoyance, The only solution is to move them, kill them, because that's where we are. So I have no hope at all that black folks are ever going to be a part of the United States of America. I seriously doubt it. They're going to say, oh, yeah, come on to Wall Street, make money like we do. Yeah, come on, black people. hey, come over here, make movies, make blockbusters. Don't make those little Tyler Perry movies. They're about the same thing. I want to see a Tyler Perry science fiction movie. It probably had gay people in it. Anyway, give me a second. Take a break. Come back with more Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show.
The Ron Kelly Show. Real talk, bold truth. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m.
All right, everybody. We're back. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program at 15 minutes before the hour. So disappointed in the San Antonio Spurs last night. Just so completely disappointed. Unbelievable. Just so disappointed. Anyway, it's about 14 minutes before the hour. So that's what's going on right now. Karmelo Anthony, Karmelo with a K, not the basketball player. Karmelo Anthony with a K has been convicted of murder for stabbing a classmate, a white kid. Now I don't think he was a classmate. I think that Karmelo Anthony was visiting. It was a track meet, and they were visiting another school. Now, this is how the story went. They were visiting another school, and Karmelo Anthony was sitting somewhere where those kids didn't want him to sit, allegedly. Who knows? None of us were really there. But this is the talk that's out there, that he was in an area, and they wanted him to leave. Yeah, probably because he was black. Take rocket science to figure that one out. And one thing led to another, and Karmelo Anthony wound up stabbing the kid. But come on, he shouldn't have. You shouldn't have a knife. I never took a knife to school, and I didn't go to school in the '60s, but I never took a knife to school. Because it just don't seem like the kind of environment where you need a knife. Now, because you can't say that he was being harassed by the kids, because he didn't go to school with those kids, from what they're saying. He didn't go to school with those kids. So he couldn't have been harassed by those kids. So that's the thing now. So the issue is not that he didn't kill a boy, because he did. And there should be some kind of punishment, but not first-degree murder. And not even that. It's that he was convicted by an all-white jury. Now, what do you think all bunch of white folks, I don't care how altruistic, I know white folks, they'd be like, oh, no, I don't do that. I'm not like that, And there's probably white folks who are out there like that, but those white folks deny that there's racism at all. Oh, it's not like that anymore. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So what I say the fix was in, I don't know if I'd go that far. But an all-white jury, leaves a lot of questions that need to be answered for Karmelo Anthony, who is 19 now. I think this happened when he was 17. He's 19 now. So he got convicted, and he's going to prison. He's already left for prison. Now, will that be enough to this video? Go for yourself. This video. This video of the stab. I understand this video of the stabbing. Now, and then there's all kinds of, people saying all kinds of stuff. Now, yeah, so they collect $600,000. This is a lot of money for black folks that had collected money and donated to Carmelo Anthony's family so they can relocate or whatever, because they're probably not safe. That's Texas. I would move into New Jersey or something because they're probably not safe. 10 minutes before the hour, 10 and a half minutes before the hour. Yeah. So, so should he get a retrial? Yes, and not because he's innocent, because he's not. He should get a retrial because the jury was not selected. You know, can I say it was an illegal jury? I mean, I don't know, but I think that, you know, when they talk about the jury of your peers, those 12 white people were not his peers. And should he get a new trial based on that? Yeah. Is he innocent? No. He did it. He said he did it. Okay, fine. And he should be punished, but maybe not to the extent of what they're trying to punish him on. Maybe not to that extent, you know. But 9 minutes before the hour. Shout out to the people down in WBOK 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans. Shout out to them down there, Charla, CH. Charla. Hope everything works out for you. Shout out to Wick, who's the whiz down there. The tech handles everything, including the Ron Kelly show. Appreciate you. And yeah, 8 minutes before the hour. So yeah, so they found. I mean, I just didn't get excited about that burning cross story. It just didn't do anything for me. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. You know, this is the kickoff. You know, it just didn't make any sense to me that they would to do that. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, why? Why now? When was the last time you seen a burning cross? In the 60s? No. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, everybody, it's just it's about 7.5 minutes before the hour. About to get out of here. There's no game tonight. Sorry, as San Antonio Spurs, garbage. Now they're gonna go back home, down 3-1. Hey, let me see. Didn't LeBron do that? Didn't LeBron win a title with the Cavaliers? And they were down 3-1. I have to look that up. But you know, congratulations to the Knicks. 50 people got arrested last night after the game. If the Knicks win, and especially if they win at home, it's going to be a problem. And the police are like, you know, taking a deep breath because they know that New York hasn't had a championship of any kind. The Jets, well, I mean the Giants, but the Giants live in New Jersey. Giants play in New Jersey, so the Giants. I mean, they probably don't want to admit it. The Jets as well play in New Jersey. Giants play in New Jersey. You know, absolutely, they got a lot of New York fans that come over here, but you got a lot of New York fans that won't come over here. You know, so yeah. You better have to, but people, because people are hitting me up. Appreciate the people who hit me up and ask me questions behind the scenes. Do I think Karmelo Anthony should get another trial? Yes. Do I think he's guilty? Yes. You know, I mean, he did it, but he should get it. He shouldn't have been sentenced to the much time as he got. And did you hear about the Moors, LaShonda and her husband? The Moors, remember the bent thing, Blessings in No Time, the bent thing that went on during the that went on during the pandemic been 40 years. They got more time. I mean, I was surprised that they got that much time for what they did, because there's people that steal millions and billions of dollars and don't get that much time. So Marlon and LaShonda Moore, I think that they were made an example of. 40 years is a lot of time. And I'm like, wow, really? Come on. 40 years? But that's the time they gave them, 40 years. LaShonda and Marlon Moore from the Bent Blessings in No Time, Bent, where they, the Ponzi scheme that they allegedly crafted, created, stole $30 million. They was on Oprah, LaShonda and Marlon Moore. They were on Oprah, one of Oprah's network, rather. I haven't heard much about Oprah's network. I wonder if it's still on. Anyway, yeah. And they got 40 years apiece. And that was way more than he should have gotten. That they should have gotten. Because I watch American Greed and I've seen people steal $2 and $3 billion and get 5 or 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. I mean, some of the worst guys, even 20 years. Unbelievable. Anyway, it's about 3 minutes before the hour. 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock down at where WBOK is in New Orleans. So yes, the burning cross is I didn't really do anything for me. The burning cross. I mean, because why? I mean, like you said, black folks doing a very good job of destroying themselves. So why would the Klan come in and try to, get in on the fun? Just crazy. Anyway, I'm going to break out of here. I want to thank everybody for joining me here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio podcast program, talk show. We'll see you back here next week for another edition of the program. So I'd like to say that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Never made to have it all together, but together we can certainly have it all. Thank you so much.